Hello drone racers, I'm Mark, and today on Drone Racer 101 we're going to take a look at this, the R9M Lite. We're going to set it up on the X-Lite radio. We're going to do some testing with this, which you may or may not have seen yet, and we'll get this in flying condition. We'll do the exact same test with this that I did with the external antennas. See how this compares at 200 meters with those. So the R9M Lite version is a 100 milliwatt, 900 megahertz radio transmitter. This is made to be a small version of the R9M, which will go up to 1 watt or 1000 milliwatts. That's definitely more of a long range option for this. This isn't necessarily going to be a long range option. I don't think it will be better than 2.4 under some circumstances, but I think it's just going to be more for challenging environments. But I guess we're going to find out. So I'm going to test this today with the R9 Slim receiver. There's going to be a video about that and that versus the Slim Plus for comparison's sake. And there's going to be a lot more R9 options. The R9's interesting because it's not as good as Crossfire. Like I'll just say it's not as good as Crossfire. So we can get that out of the way. But it's a lot cheaper. And in a radio like this, it's going to be very, very small and compact. You're barely going to notice it on there, I think. I don't know. Let's find out. So what I'm going to do here, let's just go ahead and get this out of the way. We're going to pop this module off, and we're going to slide this new one on. And it just kind of fits in some connections here. Oh, there we go. So it fits in just above the pins, and we'll slide down and click. There we go. That's it. Mission completion. And then the most important thing, I'm going to attach the antenna before I do anything else just to make sure I don't screw it up. So it doesn't look as ridiculous as the 5dB antenna did, but it's still pretty big hanging off of there. But it looks kind of cool. I don't know. It's 900 megahertz. It's a big antenna. That's just how it's going to be. So I'm going to set up a new model for this in this case, just as a test 900 megahertz version. So we'll create a model, multi-rotor, 4 channels. So I'm just setting this up. I'm going to call this model series R9M, and then we'll go up here and I'm going to turn off the internal RF and turn on the external. There it is. R9M FCC. That's what I've got here. Go ahead and set failsafe just like normal. No pulses. I have S port on, which is interesting that it asks that. RF power won't even let me change it. It is 100 milliwatts. That's because I have the FCC version on here now. If you have the EU build, it will have a couple of different options. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and set this up the same way I set up all the models. We'll just go through this real fast. Okay, I'm not gonna set up RSSI to pass through because that's not what I wanna do with this. I'm using the analog RSSI on the receiver with this model. Okay, I've got my smoke stopper here. I've got my receiver ready to go. We'll go into the model here, go up to bind. There we go, bind. All right, I'm gonna hold down this button, turn it on. 2 lights. I can let go of that. I hit bind. And I want 8-channel telemetry on. There we go. Red light is flashing, so I'll exit out of here. Turn this off, turn it back on. There we go. Now I have a green light. So that should mean that I am bound. I also have super RSSI signal, which sometimes when you're this close, if you have a problem, you can be too close. There is such a thing as being too close. I'm gonna go into the model here, go to the telemetry screen, discover sensors. There we go, lots of sensors. That looks really good. Okay, I'm gonna go to configuration. And one thing I need to set, this is a little bit old, 317. I am definitely due to update this, but I'm not going to do that today. Oh, here it is. This is what I'm looking for. So this is an old build, but it's on here somewhere. It might be down in a different spot. RSSI analog is what I was looking for here. So I'm going to save and reboot. So there's the screen. The other thing I need to do is add RSSI value. We're going to do that here right in the middle so we can see it. Okay, it says 99. It is working. There we go, 97, 96. I took it as far away as I can possibly get it at my house, and my radio still said 100 until I got as far away as possible, and it dipped a little below. Through my house, as far away as I can get, it's still pretty much 100% on the RSSI, and that's just working though. That's right, I guess. So Next thing, I'm gonna put this all back together, get this quad put back together, and we're gonna take a look and we're gonna fly it. Okay, it's going to rain, so I have to do a really quick flight. It's also, all the grass is wet, so I'm gonna try really hard not to get this thing out in the grass. So there's the RSSI, and it's pretty good, but you hear that? Telemetry lost. I still have a good RSSI. No, I don't actually. Well, there it's a little better. So it's in the 80s. It was weird, it went down. There's 99. This is with the analog RSSI. So I've still got good signal, but I've lost telemetry, and that's because of a problem. So we're actually gonna have another video about that here shortly. There, had to get all the way back to basically 100% for telemetry to recover. Lost. And there it's gone again. So I gotta fix that before I can do a fair test on this, because out here my analog RSSI was really good, and yes, I am flying an angle because I don't want to take any chances with this thing if I can help it. Here it's way better with this 900 megahertz. There it's 80. So I've got great signal, but I've got no telemetry. So there we go. There was some overlap with the fix for this module if you had to watch that. If you had to do the same telemetry fix that I did, go watch that video, but hopefully that was just an early first batch and you won't actually have to do that. For the module itself though, I'm gonna say, compared to the range tests that we did with the 2.4 with the internal and the couple of external antennas, I felt much more confident with this 900 megahertz system. I felt like I had a lot of range. I felt like I had a really good locked in signal, was not gonna have any problems whatsoever. With this model, I was probably gonna lose video before I lost signal. The biggest problem with the whole thing may be the antenna. I mean, look at that. That thing's ridiculous. Now this is the first version and I have both the antennas just lined up. Almost looks like I'm driving one of my old RC cars that had huge antennas on them. So yeah, this R9 does not come with everything that the Crossfire does. Not what it's gonna be. But it's cheap and it fits right on the X-Lite without having to do any mods like you do for the Crossfire. But if you want more confidence with your signal, or you're in a 2.4 dense area, overall, it worked. It was pretty easy as long as you get a module that you don't have to solder. And it's really not any more expensive than 2.4. Not much, not much. It'll probably get even better as more receiver options come out. So if you found this useful, leave a like and a comment down below and let me know what you think of the R9M Lite. This is just the Lite module. Like I said, we'll be testing all of them and every combination of this system here in the near future. But for now, I can't wait to test it some more. So until next time, remember, what you didn't get to see was my first test flight with this. I actually am pretty sure I was flying with 2 blades on a prop, and it still flew all the way to my 200 meters, and it shook the lens loose, and it was a crazy crash landing, but I couldn't land in the grass because it was all wet, and holy cow, I wish you got to see it.